Hi there, welcome to Pitchside. We are live at the St. Mary's Stadium, Chitende. It's full time in the Total Energies CAF Champions League second preliminary round fixture between Viper Sports Club and Power Dynamos. Unfortunately, the Venoms have fallen short here at Chitende, losing by 2 goals to 1. Very unfortunate events, considering that Vipers had come into this fixture with a lot of excitement. After we all know what happened, the new league format was thrown into the dustbin and we're back to the old league format. So most of the fans came through excited and they thought that would be motivation enough for Vipers to make sure that they make home tough count. Unfortunately, that has not happened. So today on Pitchside, we are here to break down the game a bit and explain to you what happened and also talk about a few headlines here and there briefly. I'm going to do that with my brother that we've been always together in this field, Mr. Ismael Kiyonga. I've managed to hijack him to come here on set and join me on Pitchside. So Ismael Kiyonga, nkusanyukidde ssebo.
Nange nkusanyukidde.
Kutambula nga atayagala kukola ne weerabira nti no African Football Stop Center naye erina okukola ssebo.
Ssebo. Ate era by the way ensonga zino.
Ate kati gwe wadde obijjukidde.
Ensonga zino wazitegedde nnyo.
African Football
Center, Ismael Kiyonga live.
Okay, Ismael Kiyonga, welcome to Pitchside. Appreciate your time here at the St. Mary's Stadium in Chitende. For starters, I know we're going to get to Vipers and their shortcomings today, but everyone that came to the St. Mary's Stadium today was excited with what transpired as regards to the new league format being thrown out of the window and the old league format returning to Ugandan football. Before we get to Vipers, I wanted to first of all pick your opinion because you're one of the sports journalists that have been expressing and saying how important it is for Ugandan football to actually use the old league format. What's your take home from that decision from the federation about returning to the old league format?
Like many that have been following me, I just didn't like the new format because it was something that was alien to the country, and as well, I didn't think it was going to address the issues the federation was trying to say, including competitiveness and, of course, match fixing. For me, instead, it was going to be something that is going to increase such vices. So, in the end, I think it was a very good decision from FUFA. Kudos to them because sometimes, as leaders, when you bring something and it fails to work, it's not easy to swallow a humble pill and then take it away. So kudos to them and of course to the fans because right from the start, the fans, especially SC Villa, Express and of course KCCA, despite their teams being part of the league and they were playing, of course, Villa under duress and KCCA, one of the teams that wrote immediately these reforms were out. So in the end, the fans did play a role. They shunned the stadiums right from the first game, the double header at Nambole. The message was sent. Then even in the game between Villa and UPPC, the message was sent still when even KCCA hosted Lugazi, the message was clear. So in the end, I want to congratulate everyone, every football-loving Ugandan, that at last FUFA did get back to their senses and said, yes, we may be the authority, we may be the decision makers, but at the end of the day, football has a lot of other stakeholders, including fans, including clubs, partners, sponsors, and so getting back to the format that we all know, at the round robin where people play home and away, for me is a very good welcome to the game.
Yeah, of course you've laid it out that it was a very big decision that really had to happen. The federation really required for them to sit down and make peace with themselves and decide. But my question to you, Ismael Kiyonga, is the one person that has said no to the new league format was Dr. Lawrence Mulindwa. Where does this put him now? Of course, he's loved, he's appreciated, but looks like he's grown more love again for standing his ground and making sure that Vipers don't play in the new league format.
Yeah, for kids out there, all people that have just started following Uganda football, in 2005, when Dr. Lawrence Mulindwa was assuming the chair of being the president of the Football Association of Uganda, he came in as a savior. That was the title that was given to him by the fans of the game. So He literally saved the game in 2005, according to many. And then, come 2025, 20 years later, he's also christened as the savior of not only league football, but also the game. Because if he did not stand tall, maybe if he had played like, say, Villa, Lugazine playing under duress, maybe the decision wouldn't have been overturned. But the fact that he stood tall, and you saw just before today's game, his arrival was greeted by a lot of cheers from the fans. This is the first time in a long time that I've seen fans of various clubs, including rivals AC Villa and Express KCC, being behind Vipers. Unfortunately, of course, they've not won, but the love shown by the fact that they did buy tickets, the tickets sold out, and the cheers he got just explain what his stance on not playing in this format that had been brought by FUFA meant. Because I believe, even with fans shining the stadium, FUFA would have gone on to say the league has to go on, but because of Dr. Lawrence Mulindwa, because it was tough, you couldn't take Vipers out of the league. That's one. Football wouldn't allow that. So in the end, he's a winner. But for me, I don't want to say it's just personal glory, but it's a win for the football game, for all lovers of the game. And of course, like Engineer Moses Magogo said, out of every negative, there is a positive. And the positive I would pick in this is that because of the controversial reforms that culminated into the league format, now the Ugandan football, especially the league, attracted attention from even outsiders that are not watching the league previously, from politicians to the ordinary fans to the partners to the potential sponsors. Everybody got to talk about the game, the politicians as well. So out of a controversial decision to bring the new format, maybe there has also been a positive of getting more reliability, getting more visibility for the league. And it showed today when Vipers had tickets sell out for the game. This was only the second time after the day they opened the stadium. And I remember it
against
was
Platinum Stars,
a CAF Confederation Cup game then. Milton Kalisa scoring that goal. He's one of the few players that are still at Chitende. Of course, he left, went to Morocco and then returned. But in the end, the love that people have showed to Dr. Lawrence Mulindwa just depicts what it means to the game.
All right, Ismael Kiyonga, thank you very much on that insight. Before we leave the new league format and the old league format discussion, the fans, Kiyonga, you have to go as far back as I don't know when the fans actually decided or made a decision as regards to Ugandan football. The fans refused to go back to the stadiums, and I think that was a message that people picked on to decide and say, let's return to the old league format. What does that picture paint for Ugandan football? The stand that the fans have put out there regarding them not being part of the new league format.
Yeah, for people that follow me on Cow Sports, I wrote an article, I think that was Thursday this week, last week, when I said football cannot afford to lose more fans. It cannot afford to lose more investors. I remember this game has lost investors. Godfrey Chilumira at Express FC, Simodu Bike at Victoria University, Obed Smart Sowana, Njubi, Narubale. A lot of people have left the game. So this was a time the football leadership sensed they couldn't lose any more person. To the fans, I remember in 2003 when the league was went into limbo. That was the time when Villa and Express were at top of the game. They were so competitive that they wanted to win every title. And it culminated into the league, the time when Villa beat Accord 22-1. So in the end, a lot of fans left, and many have never returned. Then 10 years later, in 2013, when we had two leagues, the USL and of course the Super League, out of controversial decisions like similar to what has been put away this last week, Saturday. So I believe fans in 2013 also left. And now, at this particular time, when these ones were leaving, but with the message, because previously people just shunned away. I just said the game, I go. But this time around, they said, no, we want the game. If you don't do this and this, we are leaving.
Back.
But then the message was heard loud and clear. So very good for Ugandan football. And now that the fans showed that part of resilience, they can be called the biggest stakeholders. Because at the end of the day, footballers are big stakeholders. The federation are the sponsors, the referees, the partners. But in the end, we all play for the fans. So without the fans, I don't think we would be here recording this, because it's the fans that are going to just open this video and, of course, see the reaction. So the fans just showed how important a stakeholder they are to the game. And kudos to them, especially Sultan of AC Villa, because
he was
single-handedly went into revealed his face, because in such moments there are always threats, but he would withstood all that and said no, for the good of the game, let's put the tools out. We are not going to go back to the stadium unless a decision has been made to reverse the decisions made by FUFA. And indeed, FUFA listened, and this means from now the fans will be never taken for granted.
Absolutely. They made their point. Kiyonga, thank you very much for that insight on the new league and old league format. Today we've been here to watch this Total Energies CAF Champions League second round preliminary fixture between Vipers Sports Club and Power Dynamos. Vipers took the lead through Sentamu, but of course Power Dynamos striker Moses Moha leveled before an unfortunate own goal from Derek Dahiro gave Power Dynamos a very vital 2-1 away victory. What's your assessment of today's game between both teams here at St. Mary's Stadium, Chitende?
In the end, I think the better team won. Especially, they were playing away from home. They did play like an organized away team by defending so resilient. And of course, when they got those chances to take the game to Vipers, they did. For me, I didn't think Vipers came to the party, especially their big game players. You want to say Euro stood up, scored a very vital goal a few minutes into the second half. But a player like Alan Okero, who you'd think would be taking the game to the opponents, then Militon Kalisa, Karim Watambala, Derek Ndahiro, I think they played hide and seek into this game. And in such moments, you need your best players to show up. Unfortunately, this was a day not one or two didn't show up, but quite many, because you could even talk about Tadeo Rwanga in midfield. Maybe you would give credit to Da Silva Bade and of course
the centre back who played with Hilary Mukunda.
The two centre backs. I think they came to the party, but the others, you would say they chose a bad day to have an off day. So
not exactly a good.
It's hurting.
But on Alan Okelo, I personally thought maybe he shouldn't have started the game, because the Cranes really had a long travel. When they were traveling from Algeria to come. Don't you think there's a bit of tired legs there for Alan, and maybe he played too many games? Isn't it time for him to be managed?
I don't think so. Because since they arrived here on Thursday, he had Friday and Saturday, and he's a player that has been fit. For me, I don't think that was the problem. For me, the problem was his positioning, and that will take me to the lineup chosen by Jack Ivan Minette on the day. I believed, I started to have Tadeo Rwanga, Karim Watambala and Enoko Sebagala as the central midfielders, the way they did the job in the previous game. And I was shocked not to see Enoko start. He was sacrificed for Milton Kalisa, who I think did well as a substitute in the previous game. So the coaches, I think, failed on the decision between starting Kalisa or Yunus Sentamu and then getting them off the bench, because you could see it was a lightweight midfield with Alan playing more of a deeper role than where I would love him to be as a number 10. So for me, I think it all started with the selection, but I don't think it's all about him being fatigued, because amongst all the players that play for the Cranes, he would be the one in top fitness. So because just imagine,
even as far back as Chan and
he's been playing. Remember, this is a Vipers team that has only played 2 competitive matches since they won the Uganda Cup. Those are the games against African Stars. They didn't play in the Super 8 because they had to go to Kagame Cup, but unfortunately there were changes because of their travel to Platinum Star. They had to get visas, so they cancelled that. Remember, they didn't play in the FUFA Super 8. So Alan, being part of the players that have been playing, would be an added advantage. But then he didn't show up. But not only him, like I said, I think the setup of the team, for me, did cost Vipers this game.
What do you take away from Power Dynamos? They had Moses Muha, who was actually... Moses Suma, who was a joint top scorer last season in the Kenya Premier League with the other striker.
Ryan
Ogam. But it seems like he bossed that backline for Vipers, and he was comfortable with his height and size. What do you take away from the Power Dynamos team today?
Yeah, like I said, they were very organized, played more like an away team. For people that didn't realize, after 15 minutes, their coach told them to settle down because maybe he realized that Vipers was not a ball-playing side. And when they did calm the ball down, then it became a problem for Vipers because they did dominate the midfield, and that was lightweight, where Tadeo Rwanga, remember, is on the yellow card from the previous game.
He had to play cautiously.
He had to play cautiously. But again, I think they missed the industry of Enoko Sebagala in there, and of course Karim Watambala. Because of Okero's presence as a central midfielder, it deprived him of some duties. Yet we all know that Karim thrives on energy, covering a lot of distance, but he was closer to the opponent's box than he would have loved to come from far, because Alan Okero was playing missing in action, trying to fall back further. So I think that's where the problem started. Vipers did not create a lot of chances, and when you don't create a lot of chances, you don't score. Most of their would be good chances came out of dead ball situations. The corners, remember, towards the last minutes. In the end, I think, like I said, the best team won, although I believe at least Vipers should have taken a draw to Chitwe.
To Chitwe. What's your take on the Chitwe game now? What's in Ivan Minati's mind now to try and make sure that Vipers reach the group stages of the Champions League for the second time in the club's history?
It's going to be tough. One, for Vipers to go through, they need to win by 2-0. It's going to be tough. And this is a Power Dynamos side that don't concede easily. When you see in their last game, before qualifying to this round, they played Asek Mimosas of Ivory Coast. Scored 1-0 at home, kept a clean sheet, went to Ivory Coast.
I think lost 1-0.
Lost 1-0, but remember they had a red card, I think, in the first half. So if a team can shut out Asek Mimosas for over 45 minutes with a red card, then it means a lot. And going by the way they played here, if you are part of Vipers, you'd be worried. One, when you go there to try and attack them, they've looked very solid defensively. It means you will leave gaps behind you. And with Moses Suma, who has showed composure, hold up play was good, physique, he battled with Mukundane and Bade Silva for the minutes that he was on the pitch. And on any other day, he would have had 2 goals on the day. So it's going to be tough. But of course, in football, you can never say never. Like they came here and win, Vipers can also go to Chitwe and win, because they did beat African Stars away from home. In the lead up to them reaching the group stages 2 years ago, they went to Lubumbashi and they didn't lose. So maybe they will have to believe in that. But currently, Power Dynamos are favorites to reach the group stages.
They have the advantage.
Yeah.
Ismael, it would be wrong of me for us to leave this set without tapping or talking about slightly what's happening elsewhere on the African continent. As we speak now, a couple of results. Of course, Sundowns traveled to Nigeria against Remo Stars.
The last time I checked, they were leading 1-0.
The 5-2 full time. So they've all but
they've literally
done the job.
Yeah.
But Orlando Pirates traveled to Lubumbashi and lost to St. Olo Ilupopo by 3-0. you feel they can come back? I don't think that's happening in Soweto.
It's going to be a tough one because remember you're talking Congolese that know how to play these competitions. Of course, it's not Mazembe, it's not SC Vita, but the fact that SC Vita and TP Mazembe are not into the competition this year, it means St. Louis Lupopo did the job. So is Simba. The other side in the competition. It's going to be tough. I don't see Orlando making it to the group stages, and unfortunately, this time around, you cannot even cross to the Confederation Cup. So Orlando Pirates.
Yeah. Kaizer Chiefs traveled and picked up a draw against AS Simba. So they play the return leg.
Yeah, that's the Congo side.
Yeah, the Congo side actually. They also play the return leg in Soweto. Maybe they have that advantage. Maybe they can advance to the group stage.
South Africa needs that. South Africa needs that because if you don't have Orlando, this is an Orlando team that rarely goes to the group stages. But whenever they do, they go far in the competition. So they are going to miss them just in case they don't make it. This is going to be tough. Kaizer Chiefs have an advantage because going to Congo and then drawing, of course, you go with that advantage. But still, if it's a draw game, it's never the end in football. They need to win in South Africa. If they don't, it's going to be tough as well. But of course, I believe they have the powers to do so.
Simba have won by 3-0 in their first leg, so probably when they go to Dar es Salaam, that's done and dusted. But it's at Young Africans that I want to pick your opinion because they lost to Silver Strikers in Malawi by 1-0, sacked their head coach, Romain Folz. His assistant, Patrick Mabedi, is now in charge of the team, interim basis. I mean, Khalid Aucho out, Aziz Ki out. This younger team doesn't look exactly beefed up. What's your opinion on it?
They lost a lot of experienced players. They did sack the coach that took them all the way last round. Was it
Sidramovic? Gamondi first, then Sidramovic.
Yeah. So it's going to be tough for them. Remember, teams from Zambia, Malawi, Sudan, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, it's more like a derby, more like a rivalry of cross neighbors. Malawi, Zambia, Zimbabwe play literally the same kind of football, just like South Africa. So it means Yanga must score before they concede.
Yes.
Because
in Dar es
Salaam. It's going to be tough. And for now, until they overturn it, the advantage is with Silver Strikers.
Okay. Yeah. Ismael Kiyonga, that was a very good tour of a breakdown on the African continent as regards to CAF inter-club competitions. Back at home here, you feel there's going to be more excitement in the league now that we're back to the old format? Do you feel like fans are going to fill up those stadiums? We have KCC Vipers not so far from now, by the way.
I believe and I want to thank the fans again. Now, after sending out your message and people listening to your message, this is the time to show you meant what you did by attending games. I believe Villa, I think their next game is against, is it Police at Kadiba? They are going to feel that. KCC Express is next, by the way, at Nachivubo. So I believe the fans have spoken and now they must act by going to the stadium.
All right. Please tell us about your YouTube channel, sir, and what people should expect on African Football Stop Center. Like
the name is Ismael Kiyonga Live, and of course African Football Stop Center. It's just new, and I get inspiration from guys like you, Clive Chaze, and of course the other big guys out of this industry, and Tambi, my good guy, Kasuku Sebo, Kasuku Namulengedwe, Germany, Faransa, so nena ngenda kugenda kwa US World Cup, of course ngenda kugenda kwa Morocco, but channel egezako kula, so that guys that are following, so subscribing, liking, of course nze mpita nnyo wali mupira ate mulimira forwa olunansi, but when it needs to channel to English, Of course, I can speak it. I can buy the English bundles. So thank you, guys.
All right. I've been joined by my colleague Ismael Kiyonga here on pitch side. Like we said, we're just breaking down, this CAF Champions League game that happened between Viper Sports Club and Power Dynamos. So, guys, please subscribe. Keep it pitch side as always. We'll be giving you more of these updates. And cheers, man. Don't touch that dial.